Okay, my Photoshop is pretty slow, as you can see, but my hope is that I can show some of you some of the cool things you can do in Photoshop. You do not know those before. So if you didn't have any pictures in your folder here in the team drive, 2019 yearbook digital photos, and then your folder, I deleted it because I think it's going to be easier if we just save them on Google because it's so much easier to rename them there. So I'm going to my Google Drive. Remember, if you guys watched the previous lesson, you're going to have to go to shared with me, and then you're going to have to like cut and paste or copy and paste your folder into your Google Drive. So I am going to open up, apparently we're going to go with Jamie M serves because those other two I think I fixed and it just didn't save. Oh, I have more power down here now. This is nice. I have green instead of red. All right. I like to either click on my hand tool down here, and then up here I can click on 100%, or the keyboard shortcut to get to zoom it in at 100% is Control-Alt-0. So either one of those you can do. So now I can see Jamie McEnany 100% on my screen. This is where I'm going to be able to tell if she's blurry or grainy. This one to me looks okay. So I just want to go through these Photoshop tools and tell you what they all are. I am a little bit partial to making my control palette over here 2 columns. Some people like it 1 column. You just change that with this little toggle switch right here that I'm clicked on. So this first tool here is called your Move tool. And so it's kind of a cool tool because we can do all kinds of stuff with it. I'll come back and show you that later. Any one of these tools that has this little triangle on the corner, you can click and hold and make it different. So this next tool is my rectangular marquee tool. I can also make it elliptical, which means it's going to be an oval or a circle. I can make it a single row or a single column. So hopefully you guys have all paid attention in your math classes and you know that rows go across and columns go up and down. I'm going to go ahead, just for the sake of not getting too far ahead of myself, I'm going to show you some stuff to do with the marquee tool. So I'm going to take this marquee tool, and now I'm just going to hold my mouse down and I'm going to select part of Jamie. Now, at this point in time, I can use my shortcuts that hopefully you know from Microsoft and Google, but you might not. I can also go to Edit. I can cut or copy if I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and do Control-C to copy. If you can't remember those, they tell you right here. Copy is Control-C, cut is Control-X. So I'm going to go ahead and Control-C, and then I'm going to Control-V, which is paste, like Velcro. And as you may notice, I now have a duplicate copy of Jamie, what I had around the marquee. So I have a new layer. Photoshop does everything in layers. So over here, my background layer is my original layer, and now I have this new layer that is Jamie. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about some cool things I can do with that layer. If I want to select something else, I have to click back on my background layer. I can go back to my marquee. Let's go to the elliptical marquee so I can do a circle. So like, let's say I want to do her face round. And there's a couple different ways you can do this. I don't want to overwhelm you with new stuff, but I can either, I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to do Control-Z because that's my undo. I could do Control-J for a new layer, and that's kind of the same as if I'd copied it, but it stayed right on top of it. So now if I'm on that layer 2, now I have a circle of Jamie's face. If I decide I don't want a layer, so let's say I don't like that round layer, I can just drag it over here to my trash can and it is gone. If I decide I should not be messing with this picture, first of all, don't ever save over the original, please, but I can also always go to File, Revert, and as long as I haven't saved, I can go back to what my original image was. But let's say I want to duplicate this layer 2. I can right-click, and I can duplicate that layer, maybe. Well, I should be able to. Maybe I just need to do my, so over here we have our drop down menus. So this is a drop down menu. So click on layer 2. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this version of Photoshop, so I do apologize. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate. Oh, dang it. That is not what I wanted to do. I want to duplicate it. I might need an actual mouse here, huh? Okay, so duplicate layer. and I can name it something if I want to, or I can leave it. It's going to be right on top of that other one, so I'm going to take my move tool and I'm going to move it over here. Now, if I want to just do something cool, down here you have your effects palette, FX for effects. So I can do some styles on it and make it stand out. And so I just selected bevel and emboss, but I can do all of these on here. You always want to click on preview if it's not already selected. So the layer I am on is this one right here. So you can see I've added the bevel and emboss to it, and you can play with all these settings over here until you get it how you like. If I want to add, I thought I was going to be on the other layer, sorry. And my family's being loud because they don't care that I'm recording, even though I told them. This is really laggy, sorry. I thought I had this moved over here. Maybe I didn't. Okay, so right now I have bevel and emboss on it. I could also do a drop shadow on it. So I clicked on drop shadow, so it's on, but if I want the drop shadow options, I have to actually click on it. So I can change the angle I want it on. I can change the amount of opacity, which is how clear or not clear it is. So that's a little bit about how to use your move tool, your marquee tool, and then the effects palette. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video so I don't overwhelm anyone.